Thank you very much, Beth. I hope everyone can hear me all right. Okay, perfect. So this slide might look quite familiar to you actually, because that was the first one I used in the January MAC meeting, in the last MAC meeting. And since then, a lot of things have actually happened because the future is not near anymore, but it's actually here. Because we have released Mahara 1.5 just last week on Tuesday. And that included altogether 84 new features and over 300 bug fixes. So lots of new things have gone into this release, and Dominic Alangean from Switzerland, he actually also calculated how many new features were community contributions and directly requested by users. And that was 64 altogether. And then 84 were some new features that fall into categories that we stumbled upon during the creation of new features that were requested, or that had to be done for security or authentication purposes, or that we wanted to add ourselves within the lead Mahara team at Catalyst. And so from this list, you see kind of in which areas new features have been created. And so you can imagine that once we had the release out, or even already before then, I felt like a kid in a candy store and surrounded by all this beautiful chocolate and candy and whatnot. And because there are just so many features that I could talk about, but that would take hours. And so I just wanted to briefly point you to 5 of them, because I think they're really awesome and might also be very useful for you when you switch. And the first one, they're not really in any particular order, because it's quite difficult for me to find an order since I like pretty much all new features. But the one that I'd like to show you, or at least point you to, is the Save iframe feature. That means that you can now pretty much embed any iframe without having to write a specific filter. All that needs to be done is for your technician to put some code into into a codex, into the actual code. In Mahara 1.6, we will have an admin interface for that, so that you can put that in more easily. A second very cool feature is BrowserID, because that could replace in the future some more complicated authentication methods like single sign-on or connection to other systems that do not require that you're logged in immediately, because BrowserID allows you to log in with your email address in not just one system, but any system that is BrowserID supported. And that is a development by Mozilla, and we were one of the first applications that had BrowserID support implemented, and it's working quite nicely. Really other cool new things are themes. We have a configurable theme, making it much easier for smaller installations who just want to change the colors and also the logo of the site, to do that now from the admin interface. And for those working with younger students, there's also a primary school theme that was created for the for my portfolio at school.nz for the Ministry of Education here in New Zealand. And the ministry, we open sourced it together with the ministry, allowing us to have it in there, and that showcases nicely what you can also especially do on the dashboard page with the dashboard image, and also how to incorporate more icons into the navigation bar. Copy collections, it's also a great feature that was financed by Rocky View Schools, and that allows us now to copy any collection that you have shared with users and not just pages. And last but not least, there's also drop-down built-in navigation now, so that you do not have to use the navigation bars you're used to, but can now also easily just switch to a drop-down menu. If you have not yet had the opportunity to install it on your own server, you can, as of today, go to demo.mahara.org, because we updated it just yesterday, thanks to our team in the UK who put it on their server. And you should be able to see most of the new features in there. it could still be at the moment that you might see the 1.4 version because we're in the process of having the DNS switched over. So that is still in the making, but most of you will hopefully already see the new dashboard page and also the new homepage where there are new icons. And I'll add some more information on the page, which actually then also says that this is now 1.5. Now, exploring some of these features might actually be a bit tricky because you don't know where to find them and can't really make it out from the wishlist items or bug reports. And therefore, just take a look at the manual. It has been updated to 1.5, and manual.mahara.org now also points to the 1.5 version. And if you go to the index and scroll down to the section N, new in Mahara 1.5, then you'll see all the new features that users will see that needed to be documented in the user manual, and you can easily then click on the links there and yeah, just go there. So on the way, the manual is also a new feature of 1.5. It exists also for 1.4 now, and you can also download it as PDF file and even put it onto a tablet computer as EPUB file and put it there into your reader. Keith, thank you very much for putting the manual link into the chat window. And all these new features have been made possible through the Mahara community, through various contributions from many users. As you can see in the release notes, I'll share the link to the release notes just in a bit once I'm done. And so we've had people who reported bugs, people who put wish lists up, people who translated the words that we have there in English, people who did security fixes, who helped with the reviewing, and also who wrote the actual code. So it's lots of things going on. And if you have any specific questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Here are my email addresses and or email address and Twitter. And also please join us on mahara.org, discuss the new features and report bugs or expand them with other wishlist items, and then also discuss more how you're using it, and so that we also get an idea about it. So that's pretty much it from me.